I've had anxiety in my life, not just once, but twice. Both times, it was right before I knew decade was starting. Weird, huh? Every time, I had to figure a way out myself, because the system just failed me. In this video, I'm going to share exactly what worked and what didn't, so you don't have to figure it out alone. Hi, my name is Noemi. I'm a life coach and holistic healer, and this is my life story with anxiety. The first time I started experiencing anxiety, I was about to turn 30. I was a single mom, working in retail, just me and my daughter living together in a rented house. I was spending all the weekends and all the bank holidays working away from her. Was supposed to get a degree, but of course university was on hold because I didn't have time or energy to spend time on studying. And out of the blue, I started experiencing this kind of strong physical symptoms. Heart racing, cold sweating, not in my stomach, just almost fainting, and other symptoms as well. And to be honest, I couldn't understand what was wrong with me. I was like, maybe I'm sick, maybe something is wrong. And this happened for a few weeks, I would say, before I realized it was becoming kind of a regular occurrence. So I was studying psychology at the time, so you would expect me to know exactly what anxiety was, but no, I had no idea how to recognize anxiety. I had no idea how to recognize panic attacks. I had no idea what was happening to me. And I was feeling kind of, ashamed, out of place, that something was wrong with me. It took me a long time to actually reach out for help and to share what was happening with my mom. She's the one who actually, of course, who drove me to the GP back in Italy. And I have to say, this is the first time that I experienced the system not backing up what I needed, just, not offering me the support that I felt I needed at the time. The solution they could give me was just to throw some medications at me, and just put me on an endless waiting list for maybe one day get some group therapy sessions. Now, first of all, again, I was ashamed, so group sessions were really, I wasn't really looking forward to them, and to be honest, I'm still on the waiting list, still waiting for something to happen because I was never called anyway. And the medications, they help long term. They had kind of the opposite effect. So, going through all of this, I had to find ways to heal myself. I could not afford going to psychotherapy, even if I was studying psychology, and I definitely believed in psychotherapy. Because again, I was a single mom, so I could definitely not afford to pay for private sessions. And actually one day, I had an amazing manager at work. I have to say, I feel so lucky that I had that person in my life. And I was on a business trip with her one night, and I started sharing what was happening because she realized that something was wrong with me. I actually had a panic attack in front of her, so it was pretty clear that something was happening. And she's the one who handed me over my first ever bottle of batch flowers, and just said, try them. And that was kind of the first door into the holistic therapies in my life, because again, I was pretty skeptical, pretty science oriented, pretty data oriented, like a very rational person. And holistic therapies were really my thing at the time. But that was the first time that I started using them, and the effect was so immediate, so helpful, so powerful, that I kind of started looking into other options as well, other therapies, other tools, other coping techniques. YouTube and Google, of course, became my best friends, and thanks to them, I bumped into yoga, which became part of my morning routine together with meditation. I found out about EFT tapping, which became a way out of panic attacks. self-hypnosis, NLP, crystals, like different techniques that actually help me work on different aspects of the situation. At the end of the day, this experience helped me not just manage anxiety. It really transformed my entire life, because anxiety wasn't really the problem, my life was, and anxiety was just the messenger. So thanks to that experience, I had a complete turnaround in my life. So I went from being a single mom, as I said, working retail, renting, zero dating life, university on hold. In a couple of years, I got not just once, but 2 degrees. I met the love of my life. In just 1 year later, in our relationship, the 3 of us moved together to the UK, which was a long dream of mine. Here I had a complete change in career, went into a corporate, so went from working all weekends and bank holidays and long hours. I went into a regular 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I was managing a large international team, an amazing job, very fulfilling, financial stability. We bought a house together. So as you can see, my life from the outside was kind of perfect, right? And yet, when I was about to turn 40, so fast forward about 10 years later, anxiety came back. And I have to confess here, I felt really guilty. In those 10 years, on top of, being in corporate and relocating and so on, of course, I was so excited about the tools that I learned that I started studying and achieving different certifications in all of them, and to start building my coaching business on the side. And so when anxiety started showing up, I was like, how is it possible that I have all these tools and I help others with them, and yet I'm experiencing anxiety again? And so I have to say, I was kind of talking the talk and walking the walk. So I was helping others with those tools, but was not using them myself, at least not as consistently as I was expecting me to do. There were things still happening, but some others were a little bit on the side because I was more focused on work and business and just, other aspects of my life. I have to say this time I kind of spotted the signs a little bit earlier though. Even if anxiety didn't show up in the same way, so there were no panic attacks this time. I started having more trouble sleeping. I was irritable. I was snappy. I was always drained. Woke up in the morning, just looking forward to the moment I would go to bed at night. So I was not really a pleasant person to be around. I was tired, and this is why I realized that something was wrong with me again earlier this time. And through my company, I could have access to some private counseling. Now, counseling was helpful because, of course, it gave me some coping techniques, which you will find in this channel 100%, at least some of them, the ones that worked. However, it was fully focused on my insomnia, on my sleeping problems, and didn't get to the root of the problem, because the insomnia was just a symptom, was just an aspect of that. And so again, solved the thing partially. And I also started using, of course, went back to my own tools and techniques I used. And I was also put on the waiting list for talking therapies with the NHS, which took a few weeks by memory. Talking therapies was again helpful, but partially. I was probably a little bit already on my healing way, because I was using my own tools anyway. But I I have to say it kind of felt a little bit rushed. I think we had 30 or 40 minutes per call, and I could see the person on the other side being under pressure to actually, go on to the next call and close the conversation in a certain, deadline and so on. So, and I'm not blaming them. I understand it's the system, nothing to do with them. The person on the other side was amazing. But we can see there are like faults in the system where you can feel still alone, still not supported, still just not healed. So again, what happened this time is that I had to go back to my own tools, actually be more consistent with them, started using them again. And I had to learn how to set boundaries and protect myself, which was probably something that was missing sometimes. This time again, anxiety was the messenger to make big changes in my life, up to leaving my corporate job, which, even if I loved almost everything, there are always, negative aspects for every job, but even if I loved pretty much almost everything, and from the outside you may think, you're crazy, you left an amazing job, working from home, 100% remote, amazing team, growth and everything. But I had to start building a life. I had to prioritize my own health. I had to prioritize my energy, and I had to focus on something else to, again, protect myself. So with time and in the course of the years, I had to learn not only how to manage panic attacks and anxiety, but also to spot the early signs to prevent it from happening again, to take care of myself before it was too late. And this is why I'm now building a life that is truly centered around me, my health and my needs, without guilt or without giving up on my dreams. And this is also thanks to the help that I'm getting from Human Design and Gene Keys, which are my latest additions to all my tools that really help me build a life centered around me. So I hope you will find this channel helpful. Of course, I'm not a therapist. This is not medical advice. If you're in crisis right now, please call your local helpline. What you will find in this channel will be real tools, real experience, real healing, everything that I tested myself, everything I learned, every small nuggets or big life lessons, everything that helped me get through this anxiety will be here for you. So your journey doesn't have to be as hard as mine was. So this channel is for you if you're experiencing panic attacks or anxiety and don't know how to deal with them, because I know what it feels like to feel lost and lonely in this journey. But it's also for those of you who are already gone through the worst part and are getting on the other side and want to know how to live their life without being scared of anxiety taking over again. So I hope this content will help you get through this, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that the majority of the world experiences anxiety and panic attacks, even if they don't tell you, because there is this kind of need to keep it hidden and just don't talk about it. But trust me, it's much more common than you think. And remember, there is nothing wrong with you. You're just a human, and this shall pass too. I'll see you on the next video.